Hello, darlings. We're almost done. I wanted to do one more video to kind of wrap things up. We have 10 more days in the semester, and I know you didn't sign on for an online class. None of us signed up for the craziness that the semester has turned into. So I wanted to highlight a couple important things as we are wrapping things up. So class ends on the 1st, so we have a week and a half. And there's 3 potential things that you need to be doing in this next week and a half. First of all, you have to finish the argument essay. That's due what would have been our last class, which is next Thursday, the 30th. So we have that. If you have any remaining work that you haven't done since we went online, I will take it without penalty because we're all just trying to survive. So I won't take off any points. If you have anything that's still late, I'll take it. And we have an optional revision. So I'll post a thing here about the optional revision, but I'll have it due on Monday. So if you want to revise your explanatory synthesis or your critique for to get back some of those points you missed, I'll open up a link under submit assignments, and that'll be due on Monday. So you have most of a week. Now, you have to go and look at the comments that I put on the essay that was graded. I told you what needed fixed. So if you just go and fix your apostrophes, but like you didn't write a critique essay, you're not going to get points back on your critique essay. It's like going into a house that's falling down and putting up new light switches when the house doesn't have a roof. Like, it's still not livable. So go in and look at the comments. You have to make the big changes to get back the big points. I can help. if you have a question, if you want me to look at something and say, okay, this was, my citation wasn't right. How is it now? I am happy to help. But I can't help unless you ask. And if you wait to the last minute, you're severely limiting how much help you can get. So that'll be due on Monday, which is the 27th. A lot of you didn't turn in your APA conversion. I would have loved to have had conversations in class and put essays side by side to show you this is MLA and this is APA. But my internet and my electricity and my water and my everything was out for 5 days last week, so I couldn't do anything much but post some links. So if you haven't done it yet, do it. It's worth 50 points, which is as much as our first essay, right? So you don't have to change anything in your explanatory synthesis essay. You just have to convert the formatting and the citation to APA. And APA, a lot of the things are the same. You'll use double space, Times New Roman, 12-point font, but some things are different. Like every time you mention the author in your text, you have to put the date. And the works cited page is now a references page, and the entries on that references page are different. Things are in a different order. So I posted 2 videos and a link to the Purdue Online Writing Lab, which I highly recommend. If you need help with that, ask. So if you haven't done that, do that, because when you build on your argument, you're going to turn it in an APA. So that's why we do the conversion in the middle. So those 5 pages are already converted, and now you just build on your 3 pages of argument. So I believe I posted a whole video explaining how this essay, we have the explanation, then we're building the argument onto it. So if there's any questions about how to convert this, there was a video posted March 19th. Go back and watch it. How to convert this to APA, let me know. Remember that you're going to have to change your thesis, because your thesis on your explanatory should have just been an informative statement, like freedom of speech in schools has been a controversial battleground, right? That's just fact. But now you have to take a step beyond that and make your debatable stance on this topic to say, students should not be allowed XYZ in school. They do not have that right, or whatever your argument is. So a lot of folks, for their explanatory synthesis, not only did we not have synthesis, which we have to have synthesis. These are synthesis essays. There's readings in the book. I posted a video about it. There's a handout in the folder. We did a Johnny Depp exercise. We have to have some synthesis of our source material in this essay. That's like the purpose of the essay. So at the end of this, when you build on your 3 pages of argument, your essay is going to be 8 pages. So you can definitely have 4 or 5 paragraphs that have synthesis in them. You don't have to synthesize source material in absolutely every paragraph. That would be silly. So you have to have synthesis. You have to be making a debatable argument. You have to have that balance of logos, ethos, and pathos that we talked about. You have to appeal to your audience's logic and their emotions and their sense of, using expertise and authority and experience to convince them. And remember that the only people you're writing this essay to are the people who disagree with you. So you have to consider, it's like a psychological investigation. If I'm arguing that this should be illegal, if I'm arguing that this should not be allowed or this should be allowed, or you're speaking to the people who think the opposite of you. So you have to consider, what did they need? What does this particular audience need to be convinced to change their mind and their behavior? So how are they thinking, and how do I convince them? So we have to have counter-argument. We have to acknowledge our side's shortcomings or faults or expenses or risks, and we have to acknowledge what our opposition thinks and believes, right? Because they have reasons for disagreeing with you. So we have to change our thesis to be a argumentative thesis, and we need to move our conclusion paragraph down because we're going to be adding on 3 pages of argument. I'm happy to help. I'm happy to look at your progress, and if you want me to check your APA, if you want me to check, wow, I've been having comma splices all this time. This is really your last moment to show that you can do these skills. And if I had you for 101 and we did 3 or 4 essays there, and then we've done 3 or 4 or 5 essays here, and you're still making grammar mistakes, your citation is still bananas, you still have inappropriate tone, all these kinds of things, you're demonstrating that I have not learned the things I need to learn. I have not been listening. I have not been practicing. I have not been growing as a writer. So this is really important because it's the last one. So this will be due next Friday. If there's problems with your explanatory synthesis essay, I recommend that you revise that for the optional revision, which will be due on Monday the 27th, because you're going to have to fix those anyway before you build your argument on them. If there's any outstanding assignments, like I said, like you didn't do your APA conversion, I will take that late. I will be happy to help with anything. I'm trying to pull up what else. The citation aid activity, homework 9 and 10, lots of people didn't do. The synthesis activity, lots of people didn't do. If you're wanting to go back and do the critique essay, like that's a lot to do. If you're not going to turn in work, you may want to talk to your advisor and the financial aid department about the benefit of potentially withdrawing from class instead of getting an F, and how that will impact your GPA and financial aid and things like that. So let me know what kind of questions you have. You can email me. You can message me on Facebook. If you want to call or text, my cell phone number is area code 419-902-1317, and I get service at home most of the time. So let me know what help you need, and we got to get this work done, right? And the semester will be done. So I'll see you later.